Hello and welcome to Into the Broadcast. I am Devin Garina, alongside me Danny Beck. We are here visiting Slippery Rock University, where the Vulcans will face the Rock. Danny, take us into some key things in this game.
Well, Slippery Rock coming off of a loss, actually, to Gannon University, their last game in Gannon. A loss 82-74 in a very surprising fashion. So they're looking to bounce back here today, led by Micah Till, one of the best in the country, 21 points per game average. Just an absolute rock, if you will, yeah. With their team name. But this Slippery Rock team is looking to bounce back at home against a California team that came off a victory as well, as they took down Clarion. And that was a big win for California, just get some confidence going into the meat of the schedule. This California team has a lot of youth, and that's going to prove to be big against this Slippery Rock team here today.
Yes, and everything was clicking in the last game. You have Brent Pegram. He's on the top of our list, and then Micah Till. We'll see what this matchup has for you, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned here on CUTV. Hello and welcome back into the Rock Stadium. I'm here with Danny Beck.
Now let's meet the starting pitchers from California Vulcans, coached by Danny Santoro. At guard,
and we have something special here for you today. After a 12-game winning streak was snapped last week for the Rock, as you mentioned earlier in this game, coming off of a loss.
And they actually had their 12-game win streak snapped for their first loss since December 3rd. And so obviously we're talking about Slippery Rock trying to bounce back and really solidify their spot as that top dog in the PSAC West, just behind IUP. But with a 14-6 overall record compared to California's 7-12, California would make the playoffs. The playoffs start right today. So we're going to see how California fares with their young lineup against really Micah Till and the Slippery Rock Rock.
Yeah, and something that is interesting, Slippery Rock is an outstanding 121 to 31 games at home. Also, Slippery Rock and Cal have split the meetings in all of their history. So Micah Till may be one of the biggest parts, averaging the double-double, as you said, one of the top players in the Atlantic region.
And this is also going to be a little caveat of information that we're going to be following this entire day. With Micah Till from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and Brent Pegram from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, both from Wise High School. So good basketball out there in the DMV, and I covered that story actually for Cal Times. And Brent Pegram was just talking about how good the basketball is in the DMV. That's the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. But out of Wise High School, you know, there's a lot of talent that comes out of that area. Markel Fultz, Kevin Durant, Victor Oladipo, just to name a few. But these two guys, both leading their teams in the PSAC and just leading their squads to victory. And, you know, right now we're going to see who the better Wise High School product is as they take the floor.
And in the last meeting, Slippery Rock made 15 three-pointers and shot 60% from the field in their 7th straight victory, 95-84 win over California on January 9th. So let's see if California can change the fate of this game, come out with a different result. As we get into the tip-off here, the Rock will secure the first possession as they work around that zone that we have seen so much so far this year, as a foul is called on number 3, Zion Collins.
Yeah, right underneath the hoop. We're going to see already here today with Micah Till being the target of quite a bit of attention. And a made three-pointer.
Yeah, three-pointer in the corner for Nolan Gerald, the guard, 6'3", senior. As Cal has the ball, passing it around, looks like Slippery Rock's coming out in their man-on-man. So that's all that shows that toughness that the Rock has.
Yeah, California's certainly moving the basketball around, though, as a turnover on Zion Collins. But this California team right now forced to just break up this defense from the Rock and try to find those soft spots. But with Micah Till as that anchor, that's where they're going to see a lot of soft spots.
Yeah, you have to find those weaknesses early, especially with a great team like the Slippery Rock team, as a shot is up and no good, rebounded by Williams. Pegram with the ball now, sizing up his defender, taking it to the rack, scoops it up and misses barely. But that's just that elusiveness that he has and brings to the table. He can go up and around his defenders, draw the foul, and potentially get an and-one.
Yeah, he's definitely a flashy player, just like his flashy shoes that he wears each game. Goes right to the hoop and tries to make some magic happen for the California offense. Right there, now he goes to the line, those high percentage areas.
As the first one is up and no good. He has been a little bit dry in the last couple of games from the free throw line, something very uncharacteristic from him. But as you said, those shoes are still fire. The second one is up and no good as the Rock retains possession.
And head coach Danny Sankum's not liking that right now. Although it's still early, a little frustrated.
As the Rock start moving the ball. Let's see if this California 2-3 zone can withstand Micah Till, and he says no. Takes it straight to McAdams.
Yeah, working against Colin McAdams and just really knocking him away. He's destined to go pro, I think.
Yeah, and something interesting about him is he used to be a tight end for Virginia Tech, I believe.
Yeah, it's just so much skill there with Micah Till, and you know, you see a lot of tight ends. You know, with Rob Gronkowski, he's a basketball player. Travis Kelce, the same thing. Going into as actually now Zion Collins dribbles the ball out of bounds. But just getting back to what I was saying before, you see a lot of those similarities with football, basketball players going into football or football coming into basketball. There's a lot of strength at both positions, so you think that they'd work seamlessly together. And you know, right now we're seeing with Micah Till, it is a seamless transition.
Yes, as they work the ball, Micah Till down low, fade, off the mark. Pegram with the rebound off of the tip as he passes over to McAdams. McAdams takes it in the middle, passes to Gessner. Gessner dribbles it back out, finds Pegram at the top as he will reset this California offense. And he passes out to Williams. Williams into McAdams, trying to see if they can get something positive out of this possession. Takes it up, no good. The Rock will get the rebound.
Yeah, California is just being smothered right now by this Slippery Rock offense and defense. It's not allowed anything as a turnover results in points.
Yes, and that will be number 25, Amante Britt, the guard, 5'9", freshman from Woodland Hills. As Zion Collins looks to get his name on the board with his points, and he gets it off the backboard with a little kiss.
Yeah, Zion Collins, that guy that's really the catalyst for California this entire season. He's the one that really scores first and just starts those floodgates, open up the floodgates for California. Hopefully those floodgates are wide open here today, as if I already find themselves down by 5.
As they almost force a turnover and the Rock retain possession, but the shot clock is going down. They might need to get a shot off, and they turn it over. California getting in the head of the Rock a little bit with the zone.
Yeah, and that was also just miscommunication between Vinny Lasley and John Warren, as Lasley just rifled a pass over it in the area of him and just out of reach. So Just got to talk a little bit. Still early on in the game. Just try to shake that rust off, if you will.
As California has the ball, Zion Collins goes a little jab step, and it's quickly taken away by Vinny Lasley. As the Rock have the ball, trying to figure out what they can do to this zone. As they work that high post and they hit the opposite, that's one of those things that the zone doesn't cover that good. As McAdams recovers the rebound. As he goes straight to the rack and almost goes up and gets called for the foul. Micah Till. I thought he was about to dunk on him, Danny.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was a close one, but foul called on Micah Till going up. But now take this opportunity to just talk about these standings with California as they sit right on the edge in that 6th spot in the PSAC West. Slippery Rock in the 2 spot, 14-6 overall behind IUP, and IUP's always a powerhouse. You know, we're used to seeing that with CUTV covering IUP in the PSAC West, but this California team, like I said, they're on the fringes. They're a team that's operating with what they have. You know, they're kind of dealt a bad card with the lack of depth on their bench, but also with their new head coach, with Danny Sancombe, his implementing of a new style in offense and how he can't really implement a new play style of defense because he doesn't have a lot of guys. He's forced to run in that zone press defense because he doesn't want to see his players get tired on defense as much. So that limits their production on offense, but I think thus far with 7 wins, they can kind of, there's room to grow. Yeah. There's definitely room to grow, especially with a young team, and just get their feet underneath them right away.
Yes, and that's something Duke did with Jalil Okafor. He wasn't a fast center, so they had to develop that 2-3 zone, and it ended up working out for them. Obviously, that is a Division I powerhouse, but right here, Danny Sancombe has something special in his fingertips.
He definitely does, and California right now only limited to 3 opportunities to shoot the basketball and cash in on 1. 33% from the field. Slippery Rock, 3 of 8. That's 37.5%. See California's second trip to the line here with Colin McAdams.
As McAdams sinks the first. And going back to that take, just you could see McAdams not scared of anybody, just going straight up with anybody at the rim, as he will miss the second foul shot. As Slippery Rock will take it at the top of the key and work this ball around, try and find an opening. As they shoot a long 3, and that is off target, but they will call a foul, I believe, over the back on Dante Williams.
Foul number 3, Zion Collins. Second personal foul. Team foul number 2.
Actually, that foul was on Zion Collins, his second of the game, so he will be taken out of the game, and Chambers enters. So that's you can't have that, especially with the lack of bench.
Yeah, early on in the game too, Nathaniel Chambers, he doesn't really sub in, he subs in later on in contests, so maybe it's a little bit strategical from Danny Sancombe early on.
As Micah Till works that post and gets it up and in for 2. As they look to double team and fall back, as Pegram trying to set up a play here. And McAdams loses the ball, and they quickly pass it up to Till. Till behind the back pass, and that is good for Amonte Britt.
And going underneath the hoop, reverse layup still. So behind the back and reverse, it's just all over the place. It's going well for Slippery Rock thus far. We knew that this contest was going to go this way. We just didn't know how California was going to answer. It's still early, though. California can turn it on.
Yes, all they need is a couple threes to get knocked down, and they can be right back into this game. As Micah Till diving on the ground for that, and they call it they call a timeout after they retain possession. That's just great hustle there.
Yeah, just having that awareness, too, of knowing what the situation is. Having situational awareness, I think, is the biggest piece of advice that you can give to a player, and especially going from football to basketball, getting those rules down. It's a relatively easy sport to pick up, But when you're this guy, Micah Till, it's even easier to play.
Yes, especially all the athleticism. There's been a lot of times in high school and even colleges where the football players, they play basketball and they're just naturally good at it because it's such a fast-paced sport. And they could just work with their bodies in the post and get what they want.
Definitely do. In that situation, California just getting a case of butterfingers. Couldn't control the basketball there, but see how this possession goes for Slippery Rock.
As Slippery Rock will come back onto the court. As they pass the ball in, and Cal looking to get another stop here. As they shoot in the corner, and that is short, but rebounded by Vinny Lasley. As they're working the top. And Pegram gets his hand on it and gets the steal. McAdams with the scoop. And they will look to reset this offensive possession. As Pegram is waiting for that motion offense and that he steps back for three and gets the foul, almost and one. And that's just that awareness that Pegram has. He has that step back, waits 1 second when he gets his defender in the air and draws contact to shoot.
Not even sure if he was intending to do that on that one. Just trying to get away from his matchup and then throwing up the shot. Hoping to get that one to fall, but that's that magic that I was saying that Brent Pegram creates. You know, making his offense do what he would want them to do and getting himself open. Converts from the first.
And Pegram, just one of those guys where in order to stay in a game, he has to be one of those leaders that puts a lot of points up on the board as he makes the second.
Jared Armstrong, number 10, checks in.
Jared Armstrong subbing in for Slippery Rock for Amante Britt.
As Pegram will make the last of three at the line. As Jared Armstrong with the ball passes it around. And he almost pulls up. Pegram gets his hand in again, tries to save it. Nobody there for California, so the Rock will retain possession. Micah Till for three. Off the mark, rebounded by Chambers. Pegram bringing the ball up, trying to ISO his defender. Quick pop and stop. Hits the three, stares at him.
And that's a big swing for California and Brent Pegram. Now only find themselves down by 2, so California piecing some possessions together, getting in the offensive end.
And once you start hitting those shots and you're a shooter, it's that dead eye. You have that, and it's like a microwave. You just keep shooting and it gets hot. As the Rock will find a way to get it in the basket, Nolan Gerald for 2. As Pegram gets it stolen, and we might see Jared Armstrong. I thought he was going to throw it off the backboard, to be honest.
To Vinny Lasley.
I thought it was going to be some showtime. That's what I was about to say, but ends up taking the safe 2, which is always nice to see as McAdams tries to post up Till. Williams for 3, not afraid to shoot that 3.
It's a difficult matchup with Colin McAdams and Micah Till. But a strength mismatch and big three-pointer hit.
As Nolan Gerald catching fire a little bit in this minute, basically, because the last 3 shots were all him.
California at one point saw themselves down by 2, now stretch that lead to 9 for the Rock.
As McAdams trying to find out what this offense can do to score. As he sizes up Till. Passes it in the corner to Williams. Williams passes it down to Gessner. It gets stolen by Lasley, and there is a miss. And Micah Till almost with the put-back dunk over Williams. Williams looks to be a little bit shaken up on the play, grabbing his nose. Hopefully he is okay.
Yeah, it looks like his contact popped out, and they're bringing out the contact solution. Hate to see that. I can feel that pain.
All right, and we will send it to break for a quick second. Don't change the channel. We're here on CUTV. Welcome back to this beautiful matchup. The Rock and the Vulcans going at it here. Me, Devin Garina, Danny Beck right next to me. How do you feel?
Right now, it's Micah Till just flexing his muscle, having that situational awareness right now. Up to 4 points, 1 rebound, but try to extend that to 5, and he does.
Yes, and he is wearing Lifestyle Hardens, I believe. Those shoes I have a lot of those.
Yeah, you do. I'm surprised you're not wearing them today.
Got to bring out the dress shoes once in a while, especially for these crazy occasions. Micah Till makes the second, but then quickly gets subbed out for number 12, Nick Kazuku.
Yeah, Kazu was actually on the front cover of the, I guess, program, if you'd like to call it. That freshman guard from Athens, Greece.
As the Vulcans will try and get something going here, a little bit of a drought, haven't scored in about 1 minute and 30 seconds as McAdams will try to change that and puts it right up and in. Armstrong takes the ball up, trying to work around this zone, the Rock are. As they will pass it around and try and set something up. Looks like the Rock is trying to get into that high post and there's just not enough communication to pick which person will go there. And there's a long three from Jason Folks. As Pegram will look to answer and Gessner has the ball. Pegram almost loses it off the pass and he sizes up his defender, step back, shoots a three of his own, doesn't make it. Armstrong with the rebound and will look to set something up here. And another thing with this zone, Danny, you have to get back and be set before the Rock have time to get into their offense.
Yeah, you definitely do. You have to get back in transition. But now with Micah Till not on the floor, California definitely has to take advantage.
Yes, they do, and Zion Collins tries to take advantage there by drawing the foul on the baseline. Doesn't get the shot to fall, but will have 2 at the line.
Yeah, Kazuku now with that foul on Collins. Collins with 2 points, make that 3.
As Collins will hit the free throw, see if he can convert on the second. And he will hit the second as the Rock will take the ball up on this offensive possession and see what they can do. As they shoot a long three, and that is Jared Armstrong from downtown.
Yeah, up by 13 now, our Slippery Rock, to see how California can answer back. And just like that, Zion Collins pushes the ball right to the hoop.
And that's something he does every single time. He's just so elusive off that first step. He can make it straight to the basket in 2 steps. As Jared Armstrong is heating up here, shooting from the parking lot. 2 for 2.
Yeah, and I think that Ian Grady, his first season as acting head coach, just landed a great team right now. And answering right back, going back and forth. And like this, I'll buckle up for a little 3-point shootout.
Yes, indeed, as Collins hits the 3, but Slippery Rock looks to answer quickly, and Collins gets the rebound, passes to Pegram. Pegram takes it in, almost gets the bucket to drop, but does not convert, so he will go to the line for 2.
Foul number 5, Nolan Gerald, first personal foul.
Great pass from Zion Collins to control the basketball and then find Brent Pegram. We were talking about situational awareness with Micah Till as he's about to sub in the next media break, but that situational awareness from Zion Collins too, from the freshman, on full display.
Yeah, the freshman phenom, as some love to say. Pegram will make the first foul shot, and Micah Till will get back on the court along with number 24, Will Bounds, and number 20, Nick Barney. As Pegram will sink the second foul shot. 20-29 is your score here. And let's see if the Vulcans can get a couple more stops and get right back into this. As the Rock look to convert here, skip pass, doesn't take the shot. And Pegram running all over the place, and that's something that we see in a lot of games. He just is there in everybody's faces. That's why he is one of those higher people in the defense for steals.
Yeah, and Jordan Gessner going to the hoop, get that foul and see what he can do at the free throw line. But I'd like to see Jordan Gessner shoot the basketball a little bit more. He can shoot from the outside and passes up on open looks and elects to just pass the ball off instead. But now he'll go to the line to attempt to get his first bucket of the night.
And he does get his first bucket of the night with that foul shot. But yes, indeed, he needs to have a little bit more confidence, especially with his corner 3, because he can shoot it. He just elects not to.
Yeah, California only down by 8, but with Micah Till back on the floor, that's that scoring threat and that defensive, I guess, wall that you can really put out there with Micah Till. Just put his hands up and already be almost touching the rim.
Yeah. As the Rock will look to do something here. California just trying to stop them on one possession. As Collins almost gets the skip pass, and it goes out of bounds on Jared Armstrong. So it will be Vulcan's ball.
And on that one, it was a very close call, referee right there on the sideline, but Zion Collins did not touch it last. Armstrong tipped that out right out of Zion Collins' hand.
As John Warren II checks in, one of those players that shoots the 3 like no tomorrow, and Collins takes it in the middle with the floater, makes it.
And head coach Danny Sankum has to love this right now within 6. Playing tough, you know, getting those offensive possessions to count. Just got to play tough defense and play tight defense.
And right there, the Rock hit another 3 in the corner. That will be Nick Barney. And that's just something you can't stop in this 2-3 defense, is those 3s. It's like having a field day.
Yeah, it really is, and just getting wide open. That's due to this zone defense for California. There's nothing to answer. Called on a travel, I believe.
As there was a travel on Chambers there, kind of a little stutter step, as this will take us to the media timeout. So we will be right back. Stay tuned here on CUTV. welcome back to Morrill Fieldhouse, where this is the game to be watching. Very exciting game so far, Danny. Cal staying in this one, 23-32, staying with the Rock.
Yeah, they definitely are staying with them, and it's due to this defensive presence from California, just putting their hands up in their face.
As Micah Till puts his head down, throws it up, misses it, but looks to be getting sent to the line for 2.
And right there, it's really can't draw anything else up. Just put Colin McAdams on Micah Till. This is a great challenge for Colin McAdams early on in his career. He's already seen Slippery Rock once, but this California team are very familiar with this brute strength from Micah Till in the years past.
Yeah, especially he could just put his head down and throw it up and get that foul call every time as he misses the first free throw.
And that last game from California and Slippery Rock was on January 9th, and Slippery Rock made 15 three-pointers and shot 60% from the field. But, you know, we were talking about this performance from behind the arc, the parking lot shooting as you were talking about, and it was big against California the first time they met, but see how it plays out today.
Yes, as Micah Till will make that second foul shot, and Collins with his step back, almost at the elbow, hand in his face, doesn't get it to fall though. Micah Till with the rebound. As the Rock look to push it up, and that's what Warren has. He'll get you in the air, shoot a 3. Luckily, he misses that one, and Williams trying to get physical on the ground as McAdams gets physical with the rebound.
Yeah,
the foul is called on Barney.
They have to. You know, California has to play to the physicality that the Rock is throwing at him, and Micah Till more specifically because of the fact that on that last rebound, just went up, palmed the ball, and took it right away, similar to how a tight end would take the ball away from a safety or a cornerback. And so you can see these similarities in his games. With 7 fouls, though, it's not the type of physicality that you'd want to see out of your guys if you're Ian Grady.
Yes, not indeed. McAdams misses the foul shot, so won't get another one as the Rock retain possession. And as we were talking about earlier, the Rock in this three-point shooting 35% on the year in three-point percentage and making 8.7 threes a game as Gessner takes it up and in.
That's a possession right there that you have to really like if you're Danny Sankobe. Zion Collins having another situational awareness, knowing that he has another guy on the outside streaking towards the hoop, gives it right over to Jordan Gessner, and Gessner cashes in.
Yes, indeed, you love to see that as the Rock will see if they can convert here as they retain possession. And that is something with this Vulcans team that we have seen as Warren, the second, hits the 3.
Yeah, right on the corner again. Can't leave this Rock team wide open because they're going to knock down some threes. See how California can answer back.
As Pegram will get his shot blocked by Warren the second. A little bit of a size mismatch on that, but Pegram just so fast and able to get around anybody who is guarding him. As Pegram looking to size up Warren second here, passes over to Collins. Collins sizing up Barney, hits him with a spin move, loses the ball for a second, bounce pass to Williams, up and in.
Yeah, I tell you what though, underneath the hoop, the matchup that I'm watching is Colin McAdams and Micah Till. McAdams a little banged up on that last play right underneath the hoop, but now California gets a turnover.
Yeah, Pegram gets his hand in there and goes straight up with Warren the second as they will call the foul on him. So Pegram goes to the line for 2.
And you know, this play from California right now, they're mismatched in every shape and form. They got some three-point threats all over the floor. They're outmatched in seniority. They're outmatched in height. They're staying with the Slippery Rock team, and you like to see that. Yeah. Although they're down by 9 right now, actually make that 8. This California team is sticking with them. A lack of depth on the bench. The Slippery Rock has made multiple line changes, as you can see right now coming onto your screen, but California's hanging with them, and that's really the play style that Danny Sankobe is implementing with this offense.
Yes, because you think if they do have more rotations to be putting in and people get healthier, and there's a lot of more players on the bench, he can work with more time, basically. That's more time and more fresh legs that you can throw out there on the court.
And also, you're going to have players there for multiple years, get some more experience. They're going to see what different offenses are running at them.
As Till takes it up and in, bounces around there like a pinball.
Yeah, it bounces around there, but keeps his focus on one thing and gets right to the hoop.
As Collins not afraid to take it up against Till and will make the layup, 31-38. The Rock still hold. As the Rock skip pass, can't get the rebound. Warren, these second chance rebounds and points for this Rock offense, and this Cal defense is just hard.
Yeah, they're just putting their hands up and poking the ball away. This timeout's going to be big for California. They find themselves down by 7 and manage to claw their way back up.
Yes, indeed. And you look at the rebounds per game for the Vulcans, 31 compared to the Rock 42. So the rebounding margin is +5 on the Rock and -8 for the Vulcans.
Yeah, they definitely have to increase that. Get their ball back in their offense's hands and just set up opportunities. I think that's the biggest takeaway that you have to be focusing on if you're Danny Sancombe. But his team is clawing back in this one, at least. Micah Till is being a force, obviously, in the offensive departments, but you know they're limiting his ability to score the basketball quite a bit. And we're going to see how that plays out later on in this game. But I think that if you push the pace more so on Micah Till, you might be seeing his productivity just starting to go down a little bit, although they still have some other more presence on the bench that they can just throw in and continue to keep pounding.
Yes, especially with Warren the second. Warren the second, one of those guys that can shoot the three from wherever, averaging 18.3 points per game over the last 7 contests, and has made 24 of his last 54 three-point attempts. So that's 44% from the line, from the three-point line for this guy.
Yeah, in California, you're talking about percentage. They're shooting 60%, 9 of 15, very efficient. Other side for Slippery Rock, 14 of 32. Although there's some more opportunities, California is cashing in on those.
As Williams gets his hand up and tipped the out of bounds, so they will get the ball. And the Vulcans, Collins sizing his defender up, passes it out to Pegram, stolen by Warren. As Warren gets a little tripped up, throws it up to number 2, Andre Side. As they will call a foul on Pegram.
Yeah, telegraphed that play from Zion Collins over to Pegram, and that resulted in a turnover. But Zion Collins, 13 points, 10 points for Brent Pegram, 7 of 9 from the free throw line for Pegram, 1 of 3 from the field. So a lot of his points coming from the charity stripe.
Yes, and McAdams, one of those guys that needs to start producing in order to take a lead and stay in this game, as he's up against Till, and Till gets the and one. Hard to stop that.
Yeah, it definitely is hard to stop that. And I don't even know who else you can put on them. Colin McAdams getting beat up, you know, every single possession, going up against a much bigger guy. You can only take it for too long.
Yeah, and that's something that this California team needs, as Till makes the free throw to convert the and one. And they had that last year with Jameer Howes, and they had it with Philip Alexander, as he is hurt on the bench now. That tall size and being able to go get the rebound and match up against the taller elite players for the other team.
Yeah, and just something to mention, Micah Till, 60 pounds on Colin McAdams. He has 60 pounds and 2 inches. So it's talking about a mismatch still in that, or Devin, you can't get any more clear than that.
Yes, that's one of the biggest mismatches you will see all season, as the Rock going to the middle and misses the floater. Gessner with the rebound. As Pegram takes the ball up. Hesitation, draws the foul, almost flips it up and in, but that's going to be a little bit trouble for Warren, as he is befuddled.
Yeah, he is, but you're going to see Brent Pegram continue to do this. He has this mentality. similar to a basketball player by the name of Kobe Bryant. Is that Mamba mentality, going right to the hoop, attacking, striking, and we're going to see how that plays out. You already know that he's 7 of 9 from the free throw line. See how that continues later on in this contest.
Yeah, he has that win-first mentality. He doesn't want to do anything else but win. And that's what all athletes have. And that Mamba mentality will just put you over the edge. As we have a sub in for Warren the second, I believe Jared Armstrong checked back in. As Pegram will miss the foul shot there. You hate to see that you can't convert on those, Danny.
Yeah, 7 of 11 now from the free throw line.
As the Rock passing the ball around, and the Vulcans just trying to keep their fresh legs, as Pegram almost gets it off the hands of the Rock, but they will keep possession. As they pass the ball and look to reset the offense. As a 3 gets him jumping, and Till with the rebound. Rebound again, Till, and 1. Not much you can really do on that, Danny. You just have to not foul him in that situation.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can't not foul him in that situation because of the fact that he's going to go straight up with the basketball. You know what he's going to do. He just put the ball back up. So for Colin McAdams, he's going to sub out. But for McAdams, you just got to put your body on the line, and that's what he keeps continuing to do, but it just goes against him, and Micah Till takes advantage.
Micah Till, very, very smart with the basketball IQ, goes straight up with anybody, draws the fouls, gets the and one. He finishes through contact. That's something you love to see any player do, and that's what Pegram does too, as he sizes up his defender. Passes to Collins, and Collins goes up, gets fouled. He would be sent to the line for 2.
And that's smart of Zion Collins because of the fact that he didn't have anything else to do in that situation. Just put the basketball up in the air, just hooked on that one and prevented his progress from playing out for a basket.
As Collins hits the first, and it's kind of defeating when you draw all these fouls and you're getting them into foul trouble, and they have 13 other players on the bench to go to that are all equally as good as the starters.
Exactly. That is very difficult, but that also just shows something about this Slippery Rock basketball program as a whole, this draw of talent, of raw talent. And, you know, if you can get a few more Micah Tills in your career, that would be a little pay raise, maybe a little bonus here and there. But, yeah, for this Slippery Rock program to have such talent all the way through their bench is very impressive.
It's very impressive, as the Rock will try and convert on this, as Till almost fakes out Gessner with that one, throws it out of bounds after Pegram tries to steal.
Yeah, it says something about Pegram too. He's all over the floor. You mentioned it best with the win-first mentality. How he just wants to see or do anything to help his team succeed and win, but we'll get later on to that in the broadcast.
As Pegram gets blown by Jared Armstrong for 2 with the floater.
That was a great move, getting to the basket. I mentioned before that California needs to get that high percentage looks, and right there, Jared Armstrong does exactly that.
As Sancom yelling the play from the sideline, and Pegram setting it up. Collins in the corner, pick and roll. Doesn't get it to work. Pegram comes around for the scoop, gets him in the air, almost draws the foul. Ike Laura gets it stolen, and the Rock going the other way. As the Rock take it straight in, that is a charge on number 5, Nolan Gerard.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of charges being taken from this men's team, so it's good to see a situation like that. California set up their offense. A new sub-in, actually a former sub-in, coming back on, a Cannon McMillan product.
As Jason Folks checks back into the game, Pegram looking to spark this Vulcans offense, as they love the high screen, as he splits the defender, passes it in the corner to Gessner. Gessner for 3 off the mark.
And you were talking about California having to get back set. You saw right after Jordan Gensner took that three, he sprinted back, so there's no rebound help. You're not following your rebound because that's what your defense needs to be able to be set up. And so that really allows Slippery Rock to get the ball back and go down the offensive end and score the basketball. So there's just a lot of discrepancies between what California can run, what they're able to run, and we're seeing it play out right here.
And something to mention there, as there is a timeout taken by Sancombe, and we will be staying here for this one. Something to mention on that one is that just gets put in your brain. Once you're playing that zone, you don't go after your rebounds on offense, but then on defense, it's hard to box out in the 2-3 because you can't find a set man to box out, and the ball just bounces everywhere, and they end up getting the rebound, second chance points, and that's something that this Vulcans team struggles with.
Yeah, and a lot of the responsibility falls on the players of, a 2-3 zone because of the fact that if one guy is out of position, if they don't trap in the corners or somebody's wide open, then it allows somebody else to knock down a shot. And we saw that quite a few times with an offensive possession for Slippery Rock, and it goes in their favor, leaving a Jared Armstrong on the outside. Or you can look at John Warren, on the outside. He can knock down threes too, and with a 15-point or a 15 3-point performance the last game on January 9th, you can't allow that to happen.
Yes, that is something you would see if the Warriors were playing against the team.
Exactly.
As Pegram looks to run this clock all the way down, waiting for the right time, gives it to Collins. 5, 4, 3. Collins takes it in, and Williams puts it up and in as time expires. So great last possession for the Vulcans here, as this half, not the greatest, but a little spark. Yeah, definitely a little spark. And California's team right now going into the locker room, they got to be rolling their legs out, just trying to stay healthy for this second half of play, see if they can continue this performance and try to see if they can right some wrongs of the first half. Yes, definitely want to stay hydrated, don't catch any cramps, but don't you go anywhere. Stick with us here on CUTV. Hello and welcome back to Morrow Fieldhouse, where the Rock and the Vulcans going at it in a full-blown matchup here. I'm Devin Garina, alongside me Danny Beck. Danny, some halftime stats here.
Yeah, this California team, they're not shooting the basketball much, but when they do shoot the basketball, they are converting 10 of 17, 58% from the field. And also from the free throw line, they're shooting very efficiently, 12 of 20, 60%. Other side for Slippery Rock, they're shooting the basketball at will, 17 of 39. That's about 43%, 43.6. And then from the free throw line, only a few opportunities, but behind the three-point arc, they're 7 of 17, 41.2%. And this is on pace for the last time California took on the Rock and putting up 15 three-pointers. So both of these teams, though, they're playing par for the course right now. It seems like California, they're getting opportunities, and when they get opportunities, they're cashing in. For Slippery Rock, and when they get opportunities, they're definitely cashing in, but these offensive rebounds for them, Mike Cattell has 4 of the 9 for the team, 21 rebounds as a team for California, only 13, 12 defensive rebounds. But along with that, you can look at the assist totals. 11 assists for Slippery Rock compared to California's 4. So they got to move the basketball around and break down this defense. The Slippery Rock running a lot of man defense. California, lots of zone, and we talked about exactly why they're running a lot of zone, because they want to preserve their players for later on in contests. And it's completely understandable, with the lack of depth on the bench. 0 points off the bench compared to Slippery Rock 16. You take those away, this game is much different, and that's why Slippery Rock is in the lead right now.
Yes, and something else that is notable is the turnover ratio, 12 to 6. Slippery Rock being the one with 6, California with the one with 12. Pegram, a main force in this game, forcing them turnovers and converting on those fast break layups.
Yeah, Pegram with 10 points, 2 rebounds, shooting 1 of 3 from the field, 7 of 11 from the free throw line. But right now for California, the name of the game is just getting to those high percentage areas and scoring the basketball.
Yes, as we will start this half off with Pegram bringing it up the court. As the Rock still comes out in that man defense. Dante Williams with the 3, misses everything on that one as Till saves it. And the Rock will retain possession. As the Rock move the ball around, trying to find the weakness of this zone. And it's right there in the high post. That is where you do not want the ball to be, as Till puts it up, misses, and Pegram with a nice box out there against Warren, allowing his teammate to get the rebound as Till takes that off the backboard. Not interested what Williams is selling, and neither is Warren. As Slippery Rock tries to throw it up to Till, and they're just, everything just happened so fast, Danny.
Everything just went down very quick. Brent Pegram now holding his hand, or his wrist, but yeah, they're Slippery Rock trying to draw up an alley-oop, and California not interested in helping that out with Zion Collins.
As Vinny Lastly takes it to the rack, and Pegram is calling for a sub now, as it looks like his wrist is swollen, and he tells the ref to call time, as he will be looked at on the bench. Hopefully that is nothing serious, because the injury bug has been prominent to this team.
Yeah, not so much swollen as just a little bit tender. So go check that out. But yeah, and Chambers in, and you're not really, or you're losing a lot of seniority with Brent Pegram, but scoring ability, you're not really losing much with Zion Collins here today. He's been a threat as well.
As McAdams looks to get stuff started and doesn't, as Williams gets another rebound. 3rd chance for the Vulcans on this possession alone, as he pulls up for 3, misses everything on that one. Gessner passes it, and that's batted off the backboard. McAdams takes it up and in, though, off the 5th possession.
I don't know, is 5 chance points? Is that a thing? Because they have 2. they have 2 points in that category. That's a crazy possession for California right now.
And that's the heart. That's the heart, and Williams shows the heart here with the steal. As McAdams take it straight to Warren, up and in. McAdams getting it started in this second half.
Yeah, definitely getting it started. And Micah Till just bowled over Colin McAdams. No foul called. A little interesting there because Micah Till just bowled him over. And he's continuing to do that.
And they call him for it. And Till is trying to plead his case, but the ref is not interested.
Definitely not interested in that, and now they're making a substitution. Micah Till comes out.
And Nick Kazaku comes back in the game. As we'll see if Collins and McAdams can get this spark going. McAdams, the light to the fire so far.
Yeah, he has been, and right now with Brent Pegram not out there on the floor, he has to be.
As he takes it to the rack, no remorse for the defenders, drawing the foul, goes to the foul line for 2.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do from the line now. Referees are talking to McAdams a little bit, and they're trying to just get under the skin of Slippery Rock, play some mental games, and from a freshman, really wouldn't expect that, but why not do it?
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to get into the head of your opponents, because then once it goes south and they stop being a team and working together as a team, as McAdams makes that one fall, but as they stop working together as a team, then they just all fall apart, and that's where you make that run. As we see Pegram is coming back.
Yeah, Pegram standing over there with the trainer. His California team, though, without him on the court, handling themselves, handling their own, only allowing 2 points since the beginning of the second half.
As the Rock will try and stifle this Vulcans team. As Williams sends it out of bounds, tries to save it. Not fast enough, but great block there and great effort by Williams.
Yeah, right when he went up, it was going to be out of bounds on him anyways. He was just trying to keep it alive, so nothing really doing on that possession.
As the Rock will reset this offensive possession here, as the shot clock is at 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. The Rock need to shoot. 2, 1, and they are not even aware of the shot clock.
Yeah, and California will take that possession. Is over there on the bench, Steve Bridgman clapping like he's a player, that assistant coach, and also Danny Sancombe. But you like to see this, Brent Pegram on the bench, and no signs of him coming back in as he's stretching his wrist out a little bit. Maybe he just stunned it a little bit, but hopefully see him come back.
As Chambers puts one up, no good. Williams with the rebound, doesn't get it to fall, as the Rock will try and push it before they get back into that 2-3. And they quickly pass it out. He shoots a 3 lazily and makes it. As the Rock almost getting the steal there, Collins picking it up, pull up, jumper no good. Chambers with the rebound, passes it out to Gessner. Gessner baseline, passes it back into Chambers. Chambers to the rack, up and in for 2.
Great ball movement there. Jordan Gessner finding the wide open Nathaniel Chambers, and then he just pushes the ball to the basket, excuse me, opposite way around, and scores for Cal.
As the Rock try to get things started here after that 3. Warren with the fake, goes up with the floater, up and in.
Looked like he was trying to draw a foul on that one. Referees smartly held back their whistles, but this California team trading blows back and forth. Now they found themselves down by 12. Brent Pegram's not on the bench anymore.
As Williams for 3, not afraid to shoot that one, doesn't get it to fall, as Lazley gets the rebound, passes it over to Gerald, as he will bring it back out and pass it to Warren the second to reset the offense, as Gerald takes it in and gets the foul.
Foul number 10, Jordan Gessner.
That foul will be on Jordan Gessner, so we will be sending it to break here in a minute. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned on CUTV. Hello and welcome back to Morrow Fieldhouse. The Rock taking on the Vulcans here in this one. They are up 53-41. I am Devin Garina. Beside me, Danny Beck. Danny Beck, this game has been a game where you're just trading blows right now. The lead isn't really going up. The lead isn't going down. It's staying at the same point differential, I guess you could say, here with that missed free throw.
Yeah, right now both teams scored 7 points since the beginning of this second half, but that total is going to rise just a little bit. McAdams coming down with the rebound.
Yes, and the Vulcans need to get a little run going here, as McAdams earlier in the half went on a little run by himself, scoring 6 alone. So we will see if he can do something here as Colin takes it baseline, passes out to Gessner. A little miscommunication there on that one. As the Rock will retain possession.
Yeah, right now California is shooting 3 of 14 in the second half. It's 21%. And there's another turnover for Slippery Rock.
As Collins steps in the passing lane and takes that one away. Pegram back in the game. Pegram up and in with the bad wrist.
Yeah, but you're talking about his offensive production. I said that they're not really losing much. Well, right there, he made me eat my words. Comes in, the first possession he has on offense, and he cashes in.
And that's something, that's that Mamba mentality. No matter if you're hurt or not, you're playing through it. As Till tries to take it up and in, tries to draw the foul and gets it to fall. No foul called. Vulcan's ball.
And still Pegram is favoring that left wrist to the right. Little stun from, I'm not even sure what injury that was, but likely see him put up a few floaters and try to not use that right wrist.
As McAdams gets it poked away, Till coming down like a train and passes it off to Warren the second for the layup.
And now California has to push this pace. As I mentioned before, maybe pushing the pace would wear down Micah Till. Haven't seen it gone down yet, but Pegram just getting his shot completely taken away.
As the Rock put up a short jumper, Till takes it up and out of the hands of Williams as he puts on a little handling show.
Yeah, he definitely is. And right there, just poked the ball right away from Dante Williams. Gets it back for his offense to work with.
As the cross-court pass to Warren the second for 3, no good. McAdams getting physical, which is, you love to see that if you're Sankum.
Yeah, you definitely do. And now Jordan Gesser shot up in the corner, no good.
As Pegram tries to poke it up to himself and ends up fouling Warren the second, as 2 subs will come in for the Rock and Chambers will come in for the Vulcans.
And this sub in, I'm not sure who's, Dante Williams is going to sub out, but you see this switch every once in a while with Williams and Chambers, but like I said before, you see it later on in contests. Luckily for Chambers here today, he's seeing it every once in a while. He doesn't have a point, but helping out on defense, definitely.
As Till tries the fadeaway jumper from the elbow, and the Rock gets the rebound again as Pegram tries to steal it out of his hand, goes off his own knee, out of bounds.
Yeah, this is scrappy play right now for both sides, trying to match up, and both teams just exchanging some words right there.
As Gerald with the ball pulls up for 3. No good. Collins with a nice box out that allows Chambers to get the rebound and ultimately force the foul on Warren the second.
Yeah, this game is definitely getting a little scrappier than I think both teams intended. All over the court, just exchanging words.
And it says Gerald is still trying to put some words in to Pegram.
Yeah, they're definitely going back and forth talking, but let's see who's subbing out. It's going to be John Warren for young guy, number 14, Jason Fox.
As Pegram gets the ball, Gerald calling for an ISO to show his defensive skill.
He did call for an ice out on that one. You'll have to see, that's tough basketball.
As McAdams bulldozes over Till for a charge, and he has some words for Till.
Yeah, they're both talking back and forth, and that's a freshman and a redshirt junior, so it's a bigger guy and kind of just bullying him back and forth. And now forced to make a sub out for both sides, so we're seeing a lot of stuff going on right now, back and forth with McAdams and Till and Gerald and Pegram. It's just all over the floor.
Yes, you never want to get it to be too scrappy here as Ike Laura tries to keep his hands up and Till gets the and one.
And just flexing his muscle. You can't really do anything on that situation. He's just a man playing among boys, it looks like right now. Nothing knocking on California because you can't match up to him.
Yeah.
You know, now with McAdams off the floor, who else are you going to put on Till?
Exactly. Ike Laura can only do so much matched up against him. As Collins tries to size up his defender, puts up the little floater off mark as Ike tries to throw it up and in, doesn't get it. I believe that was tipped by Till. As the Rock will look to convert on this possession, Jared Armstrong passes to Jason Folks. As Folks for three. Short. Gessner with the rebound. Goes up with a fast break, passes it out to Pegram in the corner for three, hits it.
And knocks that one down and has some words. Pegram's feeling himself right now, and I think that continue to feed him the basketball. You know, if that hand is hot, metaphorically and literally, because you know with that wrist, but you got to just keep feeding him the basketball and continue to see what dividends that pays. But a foul right there on Zion Collins.
And you hate to see that. You never want to foul the shooter on that one. He sent Will Bounds to the line for three. So right here we will send it to break. So stay tuned here on CUTV.
Thanks for
Hello and welcome back to Morrow Fieldhouse. I am Devin Garina, alongside of me Danny Beck. Danny, things getting a little heated inside of this arena.
Yeah, they definitely are getting heated. And California shooting the basketball a little bit more, but their efficiency is just gone right down the drain. 5 of 20, only shooting 25% in this second half. For Slippery Rock, they're shooting 6 of 16. That's 37.5%, but both sides are just answering back and forth, and it's very difficult to try to draw up an answer when you're being outmatched in multiple different categories.
Yes, definitely very difficult, especially when you try to go on a run and they answer straight back, as Will Bounds will go to the line for three as he makes the first. As he will look to make this second, and he does. So this is something you don't like to see, especially just the game just out of your fingertips at the foul line, just going more and more away because you can't go on that run because they keep answering. As Bounds hits the last and final three.
And that's his first 3 points of the night, but he has scraped up 6 rebounds. So being a force in a different department, just trying to do the little things to help his team succeed.
As Gerald gets tied up with Pegram, and they call the foul on Gerald. So keep an eye on that matchup.
Yeah, definitely, and just trying to match up against with Brent Pegram on that. And in the time that I'm not talking, I'm listening, just trying to pick up different words that are being said between the two. And this matchup is definitely heating up.
Yes, and Micah Till with the rebound, a force to be reckoned with. As the Rock will look to convert on this, and the Vulcans trying to get a stop here. A stop here could ultimately boost a huge run that could get them back in this game, as Jared Armstrong fakes it and takes the three and makes it.
Yeah, now they're down by 20, 66-46. California is trying to stay with this Slippery Rock team, hang with them in any way possible, but right now it doesn't look like they're able to. Just trying to put up a performance that respected, you know.
As Pegram, long three in Gerald's mouth, gives him a little tap on the butt.
Definitely just kind of threw it right back at him, and both players exchanging words early on, and as you mentioned, calling for the ISO, but that time working in favor of Brent Pegram.
As Armstrong takes it up, misses off the back, gets his own rebound, tries to throw it up again, and Collins will get the rebound. Vulcans on the fast break as he takes it straight up, not afraid to go up with anybody, and Gerald gets the rebound, and the Rock will slow it down here. As Till just pulls up from three and makes it.
Yeah, he's just an all-around great basketball player, has that awareness, has that strength, and get rebounds, also can score the basketball, so there's a lot of things that this young man can do.
As Gessner's pass to Chambers gets away from Chambers, goes out of bounds. Slippery Rock will retain possession here as they have two new subs in, number 23, Vin Laisley, number 20, Barney.
And Nolan Gerald right now as he subs out. California matched up, it looks like pretty well right now, other than that mismatch with Ike Okwara and Micah Till in that zone set.
As that is a great charge taken by Ike Wara. Good basketball IQ. Make sure that he knows that the other player is out of control. Sets his feet, takes the charge. You love to see it.
Yeah, and Barney on that one. Just trying to bring in, ignite a fire underneath his team, and could not as the foul goes the opposite way. But see what California can drop on offense.
As Pegram wide open for three, again, same spot, doesn't get it to fall as Chambers getting physical with Till, and they call Chambers for the foul.
Foul number 14.
Again, you can't really do anything in that situation. Mismatch with Nathaniel Chambers, but California now just trying to draw something up to slow it down.
And something this California team needs is that spark from the three-point line, and Pegram has been bringing it all year. But another person we talked about earlier that is hesitant to pull the trigger is Jordan Gessner. He has been wide open multiple times in the last couple of possessions and just a little hesitant with the trigger pulling.
Yeah, he definitely has been hesitant, but hasn't played out in his favor. See what he can drop. I thought today would be the day that really draws something up and tries to convert, help his team out.
As Pegram goes straight at Barney, can't get it to fall. As Warren, the second, passes up to Armstrong. Armstrong, step back three in the corner, doesn't get it to fall. Till, up and in and one.
Hey, he's just too strong. It just seems like, yeah, and I was saying keep talking to the crowd and also to a few of the players, but just, you can't do anything. You just have to try to match up to him, try to slow him down, and when there's this mismatch of strength and here comes a little bit of change, a lot more height with Dante Williams and Colin McAdams. But you know, with Jordan Gessner and Ike Okwara, they're kind of just a line change right now. Haven't seen much offensive production from the two, but nonetheless, that might have been a good foul as Micah Till could not convert from the line.
As Collins trying to break down his defender as he goes behind the back and draws the foul on Barney. So I believe that will be 7, and they will be in the bonus. No, that is foul number 6, so they will take it out at the baseline.
And Slippery Rock obviously in the bonus with 7 fouls against.
As Pegram finds Williams off the inbounds, he passes to Collins. Collins trying to ISO Barney here. Doesn't believe he can guard him, and he pulls up, and it doesn't look like he can.
Up by 20 now again, 71-51. Under 8 left. Next stoppage will be our media timeout.
Till passes it down, gets it tipped up by Williams as McAdams grabs the ball out the air. Vulcans pushing the ball up the floor, and Chambers for 3. Can't convert.
Yeah, it's a favorable spot for Chambers on the outside, one-on-one. Why not put it up? You're down by 20. Just draw something up and try to bring some confidence into your next game.
Yeah, you always want to leave the game with something positive. And if it's a couple three-pointers, then you love to see it. Right there, Warren misses almost everything except the backboard, and it is rebounded by Williams. As Pegram tries to hit him with a step back, takes it up on Till. Till off the backboard, talking, saying, "I'm not no baby." As Barney takes it in, and Till almost on the putback dunk fouls McAdams.
And definitely some words being exchanged. And we talked about this matchup before with Micah Till and Brent Pegram, both from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, but both from Wise High School, and you can see that the products of Wise High School and seeing just how strong at basketball both are.
Yes, definitely, and this has been a crazy matchup so far, so stay tuned. We will be right back. We are watching CUTV Vulcans basketball. Hello and welcome back to Morrow Fieldhouse. I'm Devin Green, alongside me Danny Beck. Danny, just tell us a little bit of some stats so far in this game.
It's definitely getting interesting. California shooting 7 of 28 in the second half. It's 25%, brings their total today to 37.8. For the other side, Slippery Rock shooting 9 of 26. It's 34%, bringing their total to an even 40%, 26 of 65. But 10 three-pointers hit for Slippery Rock here today, and 3 of those in the second half.
As McAdams can convert on the 1-and-1, and Till grabs that rebound aggressively. And you take out all those three-pointers, Vulcans are right back in this game.
Yeah, they definitely are, and a little interesting matchup with the 2 of those. We knew that it was going to be an interesting game with the last shot make that actually 11 made three-pointers, but we were talking about before in their last matchup on January 9th with Slippery Rock hit 15 three-pointers, but I thought the California would have changed their game plan a little bit and not allow that to happen, but just like that, it has.
As Till just stares down McAdams after sending his ball back into his face. As the Rock will get the rebound off of Williams' miss. As Armstrong not afraid to bring the ball up the court and push it. And something you hate to see with this Vulcans team after Barney misses the 3 is the 2-3 is a field day. As we were talking about earlier for three-point shooting teams, we saw this with IUP in the second half, and we see it now with this Slippery Rock team in the second half. In the first half, they've been doing amazing.
Yeah, they definitely have, and they're starting quick. Yeah. You know, I think that's something that California needed to do here today, and they have for the most part. I think that it's just about finishing and playing that same sound basketball, but it's very difficult to do that especially when you don't have much depth on your bench. That was a good play there from Dante Williams, but you'd like to see your players from top to bottom, would mirror this Slippery Rock team if you can, but with Danny Sancombe coming in late June, didn't have that much time to recruit. Now we're going to see next season what he can turn around and do.
As Nick Barney does the little hop step, jumping in for 2 as Brent Pegram does the same thing. Jordan Gessner with the rebound off of Armstrong's miss. As he passes it up to Collins, he goes straight at Warren the second. And I believe they will call a foul on Warren.
Seeing some foul shots now. California from the line here today, 13 of 22, 59%. Other side for Slippery Rock, 9 of 13 for 69%.
As Collins converts on the first and converts on the second. And Danny Sancombe wants a timeout here to get his team regrouped.
30-second timeout.
And we will regroup with you. So we are staying here. And our social media, if you haven't heard of it, at CUTV_PA on Twitter. Tweet out amazing content, all the updates. Make sure you stay tuned with that. Also, what you're watching on right now, CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube. You can watch any of the coaches' show. Jess Strom, Danny Sancombe. Also, we have other shows that are coming out of the water, basically. We have an NHL playoff show that's coming, I believe, game show. So there's just a lot in store here for CUTV.
And California University of Pennsylvania Television on Facebook. You can follow all of our content, see where we are, see those crew photos after the game. It's always interesting to tune in and see what antics we are doing post-game. I know today there's probably going to be a real funky photo with all of us. We have a abnormally large group. And when I say large, a lot of tall guys on this trip, outweighing the short guys. It's always fun here at CUTV, so definitely stay tuned with us on social media, and that's how you can follow along.
As we get right back into this game, and the Rock, a commanding lead here, 76-57 against the Vulcans. Vulcans trying to look for something positive to come out of this game with. As Gessner, great defense there, kind of can't stop that as Amonte Britt for 3.
I haven't seen Amonte Britt in a little bit, as she's saying 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Had to adjust that, but at the time that they stopped it, it looked like it was adjusted, so.
As they will take Armstrong out, and he gets almost a standing ovation as he walks off the court.
He definitely had a great game here today, and if he made 3-pointers, total of 13 points, 3 of 6 from behind the arc.
As the Vulcans looking to score here on this possession, McAdams tries to get the spin move there until with the block, and he gets teed up. I believe he said some colorful words, and that is the reason for his technical. So we will have Williams at the line for the technical foul shot.
Yeah, that kind of boiling over a little bit, saying that maybe that colorful language played out too. It was definitely a colorful language. He's over. We were sitting right in front of his, or right behind his bench rather, and he used some choice words, and the referee did not like the sound of it.
Yes, didn't like the sound of it at all, as Williams makes the technical foul shot, and they will get the ball back. Vulcan's ball, I believe. Actually, they will not get the ball back. That is something that is interesting to see. I don't know if they changed the rule, but usually off a technical, I believe that the team that doesn't get the called technical on, gets the ball back. So maybe it's just me being a little bit confused, but
No,
I just always believed that you would get the ball back after somebody else had the technical.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's interesting that they have the ball right now, but ball never lies as McAdams gets the ball right back.
And Pegram goes up, and that is the poster child, Nick Kazuku. As you said, he is on the program front and back.
Yeah, Kazuku on that one. Big block. Everybody that's coming off right now with Warren and Lasley both getting standing ovations.
Yes, and McAdams with the put-back layup, up and in. 79-60 is the score. 4 minutes left in this one. As the Rock looking to pass the ball around, trying to get some new names in the box score. As Amante Britt tries to take it up and in, doesn't work. Williams with the rebound, passes out to Pegram. Pegram pull up three, not afraid to hit it, and he does.
So getting right back now, 16 points down at one point, down by 20. So just got to string these possessions together. And Micah Till also not on the floor.
And that's what you have to take advantage of. And Will Bounds hits that elbow shot right there. Let's see if McAdams can do something special with the ball. As he drives baseline, passes out to Gessner. Gessner hesitant with the shot again, passes it to McAdams. McAdams steps through with his left, can't finish. Bounds with the rebound.
Man, up and under again, but you said it best. Jordan Gessner passed up the shot opportunity yet again and just could not pop it.
And right there, McAdams goes straight up with number 14, Jason Folks, and he draws the foul, go to the line for two.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. And I feel like all the players out there on the floor are, absorbing the contact. They want the contact and draw the fouls. A combined 17 fouls here in this quarter. Or excuse me, in this half.
And you hate to see that if you're the Vulcans because you don't have depth to be subbing players in if they get fouled out. And I believe McAdams is fouled out as they sub Chambers in.
Yeah, McAdams did just foul out there. So, no answer, 3 minutes left.
That brings us to a concession stand special.
And that is a media timeout, but I think we should keep it here, just talk about exactly how we got to this point. McAdams, 8 points, 6 rebounds. He's out. Brent Pegram, 18 points. Zion Collins with 16, but it is right now to this point. California's hanging with Slippery Rock. Looking at this matchup on paper, you might see that with the scoring threats that Slippery Rock has and the lack of depth that California has, that this game could have been a much more lopsided game. But California's hanging with them, and I think that they're doing what it takes right now to stay in this ball game. And I think that going up against a talent like Slippery Rock, top of the PSAC West, coming off of a loss against Gannon and keeping it this close is a victory in and of itself.
Yes, especially coming off a loss, Danny, the team always wants to get revenge and take it out on a team. And it just happened to be we were the first team that they had to take it out on.
Yeah, definitely. And now get some updated stats as we're reading from with, I believe, the last media timeout from 7 minutes left. So about 4 minutes elapsed, but McAdams picked up 3 more points, bringing his total to 10, 7 rebounds, and he's out. 23 points now for Brent Pegram. So in 4 minutes, scored a few more.
As Jason Folks will hit the first free throw. 82-63 is the score here in Morrow Fieldhouse. 3 minutes left. Folks will hit the second. Pegram trying to do something special. Trying to shake and bake his defender. Goes to the rack, up and under, can't get to finish. Barney with the rebound. Williams tips it away from Barney. Collins runs into the coach there after getting bumped by Barney. The foul is called on Nick Barney.
Yeah, Barney on that one just couldn't handle the basketball on that one. Just errant possession, and that was, I believe, Barney's 5th foul, and it was. Yeah, his 5th foul. He's out. 5 points and 5 fouls.
Yeah, a lot of foul calls in this game so far in this half alone. 18 called as the Vulcans are in double bonus.
Also something that, very interesting, Julius Palmer just subbed in. He's a 6'10 senior. This is the first time we're seeing him the entire day. If you put Julius Palmer out there with Micah Till, I don't understand why they weren't doing that this entire contest. He's a senior from Detroit, Michigan, a transfer from Oakland, but very puzzling why he wasn't in this entire game.
Yeah, it could be some off-the-court situations, but nevertheless, them two trees down there, if they were in, it would be a totally different ball game.
I'm talking about mismatches before, as Nick Kazaku just threw that one down on a big alley-oop, but yeah, you're talking about mismatches before with Micah Till. He's 6'7". This guy's 6'10". So
yeah,
and Colin McAdams is also not on the floor, so we can't really do much about that.
Yeah, right there. Maybe that's why he is the poster child, Nick Kazaku. Right there, folks. For 3, he gets the lucky bounce. As there's a little spark in this Slippery Rock offense. Pegram for 3. Can't get it to fall, folks, with the rebound. The Rock trying to just pour it on here as they missed the alley-oop on that one.
Yeah, it worked the first time, so try to cash in on 2 possessions. Unfortunately, though, they could not, so Zion Collins and Brent Pegram sub out. A new face out there on the floor for California. I haven't seen him, Isaiah Salmon.
Yeah, I believe this is the first time I've ever seen him in the game.
It's from my neck of the woods out there in Central Dauphin East, rather.
As the Rock miss a shot, and that is a sight to see. As Ike Awara tries to take it to the rack, can't get it to Paul Chambers, throws it up and in.
Yeah, just jumped right in front of Jordan Gessner on that one. If Gessner wasn't going to pop in there, then why wouldn't Nathaniel Chambers? And he did, and scooped and scored.
1 minute left in this contest. As Folks for 3 hits another one as he's heating up.
Yeah, it definitely is. If you can call heat check on that one, definitely would.
And right there for 3 off the bank. Isaiah Salmon.
Yeah, I'd take that one. That's his, if you're correct, that's Isaiah Salmon's first bucket of the season. A bit of injury bug or eligibility, but nonetheless, Salmon converting.
As right there, the Rock trying to drive, passes it out to nobody. Trying to hit our radio analysis down there, the QB crew.
Yeah, the 2 QBs are normally passing the football, basketball, whatever it would be.
Know.
They're controlling it, but right now, trying to catch it, not get hit down there, but we'll see under 30 seconds rather, so likely how this contest will close out.
As Williams takes it to the rack, up and in off the backboard. 18.6 seconds left in this contest. 91-71, the Rock looking to come out with a W here and dribble the ball out. As you hear the applause from this home crowd in Morrow Fieldhouse. Danny Sancom, you got to be happy with what your team brought today.
You definitely have to be happy, and also just the strength that Micah Till and this Slippery Rock offense, they are legit. You know, they're not a team that will, roll over. Micah Till, 25 points, 13 rebounds. It's just, it's crazy to think that this guy landed in the laps of Ian Grady and just what he's able to do. And from Hartford, he actually transferred from Hartford, but he's a guy that could be going places. He could definitely be going places, and right at midcourt right now with Micah Till and Brent Pegram, but that's all here from the Morrow Fieldhouse.
Yeah, that is all here. That is the game, 91-71. Vulcans come out on the bottom. Hopefully they can bounce back in the next one. Stay tuned. You're watching Vulcans basketball on CUTV.